She's a Jezebel, St. Andrew Jezebel.
You're listening to the St. Andrews Jezebel podcast. This is your host, Ashley Feller. I am a third-generation Panama City native. I play music, and I also help people podcast. This week, we have a special guest. That's Kirk Lancaster. He is the founder of Monday Night Little Fest, a popular event held every Monday at Taproom from 6 to 9 in historic St. Andrews. If you've been out and about on a Monday in historic St. Andrews and you've attended Monday Night Little Fest, you might notice that this is a wonderful event for the music community and those who love music because it's different every week. It occurs on a night that most musicians aren't ordinarily working, so it's a great time for musicians to get together and fellowship and share some tunes they might not otherwise play on stage. During our conversation, Kirk will be sharing his journey as a musician, his trusty red chair, which you might have seen if you've been out to a Monday Night Little Fest, as well as the exciting involvement of young musicians in the local music scene. After the interview, I'll be sharing events for the last week of 2022 and the beginning of 2023. This is our last episode for 2022, but don't forget to tune in next week for more great content on the St. Andrews Jezebel podcast. And now, let's hear from Kirk. Sit back, relax, grab your favorite drink, and enjoy the show. Kirk is the creator of Monday Night Little Fest, which is at the Taproom. So before we get into talking about that, what makes you get up in the morning?
Oh, great. You're going to ask the big questions. You know, I like life right now. I do have a lot of work I'm doing in my marketing field. Just enjoy living here in Bay County, Florida now. I thought I would return to Atlanta one day, but I started loving it here. And so I do like to get up and be productive and creative and make things and see what the day is going to bring. So I enjoy getting up in the morning.
So you get up for creativity and, just kind of getting to know you here and there throughout the years. I've noticed that you've got a really eclectic taste in music and art, and I think we've talked a little bit about movies before. What's one song, book, or movie that has made a big impact on your life?
I would have to say that folk art would be the creative channel that's influenced me most. The simple art that's out there, the self-taught art. So that didn't really answer your question about movie, book, or song, but when it comes to influences, I'm influenced by the simpler arts out there. And I did a lot of reading as a child, thankfully. I loved it. And as an adult, I feel like I do a lot less reading because I'm always dreaming up things instead. I enjoy still having my imagination, and whether I'm trying to write a song or do something work-related, creatively marketing something, that's where I find a lot of my time. And then, of course, I do enjoy playing music in my living room. It's just a fantastic outlet.
And how'd you get into playing music?
Well, it's funny. I did grow up to some degree in Bay County in Panama City. I lived out at the beach, and my best friend Calvin and I were just all into rock and roll bands, Van Halen, AC/DC, and we went to Lights Music in the mall and bought our PV guitars and amps, and we said we were going to come back to our 10-year high school reunion in limousines. We were going to be rock stars. And we did have a great little band in Atlanta. Well, I won't call it great. It was a great time, and we got to play the Southeast and toured around, and Calvin went on to play in bigger and better bands that toured the whole country. So to answer that question, I think it was absolutely walking across Thomas Drive out there, just saying, yeah, we're gonna get some guitars, start a band. So I remember it.
What a cool conversation that I'm sure a lot of folks have, and there's been several different outcomes.
Absolutely.
After your venture with your PV guitar band, how'd you get into songwriting?
Well, it's funny, in high school that PV guitar never made the stage, I don't believe. Calvin went on and learned how to play well. I didn't really pick it up, and my singing was not there. So we didn't really start a band until after our college years. We were, I guess, 21. We moved to Atlanta. And that's when I started playing the acoustic guitar and learning how to write a few songs. And we did that a few years, and then after the band broke up, I went on and played in Atlanta as stage name Goofy Fra Diablo. So I did that for a few years. And then, I got into the corporate world, I got married, and I kind of put the guitar under the bed for a long time and didn't really do it. But then a few years ago, I had to find some new ways to spend my time. I had not been spending my hours wisely, made some changes, and pulling out the guitar was one of the first things I thought about, and I'm glad I did because I enjoy it now more than I ever did. And, it's interesting. I do music not to try to accomplish anything really or get anywhere with it. I just do it for myself. I think it's an awesome feeling to be able to sit in your room and play music, whether it's yours or somebody else's songs. And that's kind of why one of the two reasons I like to play out in front of people is I like to let some of these other music lovers who might piddle around, let them know, hey, you can do it. It's fun, and you don't have to be a pro. It's just it's a great creative outlet.
It definitely is, and it's always such a treat when I see you come out to the open mics, and whenever I've gotten to find myself on a Monday Night Little Fest lineup with you. And I remember last time you weren't feeling so well, but you did great just the same.
Thanks. Well, it's fun, and I think the main reason I like to get out and do it is it's a fun adrenaline rush, just to be on stage and play your music. It's a lot different than doing it in your living room. I think you're more nervous, and I feel like in my living room I can do better. I've over the past couple of years I've tried to transfer the feelings and attitude or whatever of what I'm doing in the living room to the stage, but there's always it's going to be a little bit different depending on who you're playing in front of and all that. I'd much rather play in front of people I didn't know, but when you live in a town like this, you're usually playing in front of, your friends and stuff like that. So, but it's a fun outlet.
And how fortunate that we have such a supportive community, which I think is one of the best things about Monday Night Little Fest. So how did you get the idea to put that event together, and tell me about that, how that happens, please?
It's on a Monday night, so not a lot of things going on, so that certainly was good. But the Tap Room, which is a great venue for music and just a neat location to hang out with the outside garden and patio, family friendly. It's not like some dark, dingy bar. Cheyenne approached me and asked if I was interested in hosting an open mic on Mondays at Tap Room. And I immediately said yes, but I said, but let me think about how, I'd want to do this, and I'll get back with you. And so really, just on my way home that night from St. Andrews to Lynn Haven, I was like, I like how Matt does it, Matt Law, with the Flying Dog that he did for many years and hopefully will do again. In that, he got people to sign up ahead of time. So you knew you were on the lineup and you knew what time you were playing. So I really just took that and said, but instead of having 10 people or whatever that Matt would do with the Flying Dog, I said, let's just keep it down to 3 or 4 so that people like me who don't play gigs and don't go playing their music in front of people a lot, they can come out and invite friends and family to say, hey, come watch me play my songs. It's hard to do that at an open mic because, you only have, and I'm not knocking open mics. That format's been around a long time and they're great, and I've participated in a lot of them around here. I'm thankful for having those outlets, like you just said, KC, and then of course the late great Ben Walker, and then Crystal and Chris, they have open mics, and Steven Myers, right, has an open mic. I should go participate in these more, but now that there's Little Fest, I can get my yayas out, whenever I want. I don't need to go do it a whole bunch. So I still love that those open mics are out there, though. But I thought I just wanted to do it a little different. Plus, I didn't want, I'd watch KC, and Ben Walker, they got their list up there, and heck, KC, you know how she does it, man. There's not even list. She just points at you and she's like, and I admire her for being able to do that, but I immediately was thinking, I cannot do that. I don't have that. I don't have that. I don't know, mind or memory or whatever. But so, I called Cheyenne back or texted her and said, yeah, why don't we make it call it Monday Night Little Fest and just make it 3 or 4 musicians are pre-booked, and we can put out a little flyer for it all. And it was intended for, open mic performers, the people who normally play open mics. But because it's Monday night and a lot of our pro artists around here, including yourself, and as you said, you've played it for sure. You know, they want to get out and play music. They don't have gigs that night, and they love music so much they just like to get out and hear some of the new artists. And believe it or not, we've had people play there that played in front of people for the first time that have gone on, and they're playing all the time and just doing great. So it's been fun.
It's a great entry point if you haven't already been playing around in this area. And one of the things that I've noticed following the Instagram is y'all have had some youth editions. That is awesome.
And they're the most popular ones because you talk about family coming out to see the kids and grandkids just tear it up. And it's amazing the talent that some of these, we've had 12-year-olds, you know, it's just, I mean, I'll go ahead and name a few. Maddox Good, whose mom, Tiffany, and dad, Adam, they moved to Birmingham because Maddox got accepted to some great art school of some kind, music school. You know, he came out and just was so fun and entertaining and blew people away. And of course, they brought a lot of family, and he hosted a couple of them after that. So he would bring in his other friends and fellow musicians from, is it Many Musicians? Is that, what is the organization here that?
Many musicians.
I think so, but you know, they're very popular here and have done a great job for the younger musicians to learn and grow and play in front of people. So a lot of those performers would latch on to some of our youth nights, and then just a lot of fun young entertainers from, again, age 12 to 18 that'll just get up there and blow your mind. Very thankful that it's been a wide variety. So I think that's one of the best things that I've enjoyed about Monday Night Little Fest is the variety of people who have played there has been great. I hadn't counted it up lately, but we've had about 100 different people play that thing, and all ages, all genres, and it's been fun.
That's a real accomplishment. And I have to say, I love stickers. I sticker bomb almost every case I have, and one of my most favorite stickers is the red chair sticker. Can you tell me about the red chair? I don't really know the origin story of this.
It's funny. Well, it's the chair I sit on when I play my guitar at home, and I used to have a set with my ex-wife. I had a few of them out in the storage out back. Then Michael, I probably could have cleaned them up, but they kind of got, you know, wet and moldy, and I threw those out by the road. But I had one in my house, and it was, like I said, just the chair I played on. So those first few Little Fests, I took my chair just because I was like, well, I'm comfortable playing in this chair, and I don't know exactly what they got there, and I want to sit in my chair. And I think it was the first or second one, Matt Law was there, and he made a comment. He said, man, I just think the red chair is great. And so I kind of started bringing it more and more. I don't really bring it much anymore because we have so many different hosts now and all that, but it was a part of the early ones, so it kind of became this little icon for a minute, and I just drew the chair and made some stickers, and it's just a funny little thing.
I love that. I'm with Matt. I think that red chair is just cool.
Yeah, it's a cool old chair. Yeah. And what's funny, it's old now. It's like over 25 years, well, about 25 years old, but it was, you know, a Target reproduction of, you know, something from the 50s or 60s. So it's not actually one of the original antiques, but it's getting to a point where it's a replica antique. It's almost 25 years old, but it's been through a lot with me, so I'm like, I guess I'll keep that little thing.
Maybe it'll be replicated vintage someday.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. So what's one of your most favorite memories at Monday Night Little Fest? Are there any that stand out?
I'm excited about the diversity that we've had. I think the fact that some of the musicians got interested in it early on and wanted to start hosting it, I think that was one of the best moves I could have made, because if it was just me doing it every week, every Monday, I only have so many connections, and, you know, by getting these other musicians to host, they have their networks and connections, and I knew they would bring in a wider variety. So I love our different hosts and how they put the effort in, and that's been fun. Also, the fact that it has been a good launching point for a few people, you know, where they literally were like, this is my first time playing in front of anybody, or playing in front of somebody for, you know, for years or whatever. So that's been fun. So I think the thing, as far as a favorite memory, I just love that I can go there, even like last night. Very small turnout, but the music was still just killer, so much fun, such a cool variety. Brady Hughes hosted and Grant Talent played, and both of those young guys are, just cool little rockers playing their music. And then Jake Spillers gets up with his original songs, and he's just so entertaining, and his songs are that, they're protest songs. They're passionate, they're protest songs. I told Tom Pember last night, I'm like, man, I can't believe he doesn't have the old Woody Guthrie sticker up there, this machine kills fascists. So he's definitely good with his original songs and telling it like it is. So that was fun. So that would be my best overall memory, I guess.
Those sound like good memories to me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so one of the things that I really like about it, and you sort of alluded to this, is with the different hosts is each host brings a different flavor to the table, and that's a great thing.
It really
especially from a business standpoint, because you get different people into the tap room every week. If you're a musician out there and you're interested in hosting, what would they need to do to approach you about getting on a waiting list? Is there a waiting list? What do you do?
Well, I think when it comes to hosts, we have a pretty good group of regular hosts, and so I think you'd want to sign up to be a player, and then if you play it a few times and you want to host it, and you do have an idea for bringing your own flavor and maybe some new people that that we don't, or something like that, you can definitely you just contact us through our Facebook page or Instagram, Monday Night Little Fest, and message us. I'm almost certain we've never turned anybody down. I think there might have been a couple who have wanted to play while they were in town visiting Panama City, and we didn't have slots for them, but we've never turned anyone away. So yeah, if you're listening to this and you want to play, Monday Night Little Fest on social media, or if you're not, you're probably on social media if you're listening to a podcast. So I was about to say, I'll mail you.
Send up the smoke signal.
Yeah.
Or your pigeon.
Yeah. That's funny. We have this big drum down in the marina in St. Andrew, and we send out Morse code, and you have to reply, and it'll be fun.
So since this is a show about St. Andrews, what do you love about St. Andrews?
Oh, just everything. I come to you as a tourist representative. I do all my staycations in St. Andrews. As a Lynn Haven resident, I'm happy to hop in, the carriage, and, I get my horses all hooked up and take the half-day ride down there. It's a fun place to vacation. So I'm obviously living in the past a little bit. That's how I guess they used to do it. But I do find it to be one of the charming areas of Bay County. I think that the restaurants and shops and, the bars and all the nightlife is just a lot of fun. And then, of course, daytime. Nice place to be. Beautiful area right there on the bay and the marina. And it's just got a great, as y'all say, keep it salty. But it's got a great vibe, and I love going there.
Me too. Well, Kirk, thank you for coming and being on the St. Andrews Jezebel podcast, especially at short notice. This is awesome. I really appreciate you being a songwriter and a big supporter of the arts and just all the great things that you've done and are doing with Monday Night Little Fest. One more time for everybody. Of course, it's on a Monday. Where and what time?
It's at Tap Room every Monday from 6 to 9 p.m.
Fantastic. Well, again, thank you so much for being here. All the best to you. I hope folks will go out and check out some great, wonderful local musicians here in Panama City and St. Andrews. And until next time, keep St. Andrews salty.
Thank you, Ashley.
One of the best things about St. Andrews is that you can see live music every day. That's right. There is live music being played somewhere in St. Andrews 7 nights a week. Fortunately, my friend Ken Schaefer creates and publishes a weekly schedule for St. Andrews as well as most of Bay County. Ken's spreadsheet schedule is updated often when there's any changes. Ken also shares individual music events and is walking the walk and talking the talk when it comes to supporting live music. Not only does Ken supply the music schedules, but he attends several music performances a week and takes fantastic photos of the musicians. As a working musician myself, I feel blessed to have Ken and his wife Donna as treasured members of our local musical family. Make sure you like and follow Ken's page, Salty Sounds in St. Andrews, and Oh Boy Music on Facebook, so that you'll always know where all the live music will happen. Thank you so much, Ken, for everything you do. This is the last week of 22, y'all. Can you believe it? This year has flown right by. Here's some community events for the week of December the 29th through January the 4th of 2023. Let's start on Thursday. So tonight, Thursday, if you're listening on the day the episode comes out, my friend Corey Hall is playing from 6 to 9 at the Tap Room out there in the courtyard if it's warm enough. And he plays a great variety of different styles of blues. He's got great original songs, and he also plays a lot of traditional American folk music. You'll love it. Also, this Thursday is Blues in the Drews at Little Village, and that is with Dianzia Santiago Duo at the Little Village from 6 to 9. This is a great time for you to get some tacos, have some beers, bring your friends, and enjoy the blues. Every Thursday night from 6 to 9, my friend Scott Wetter, he's one of my most favorite musicians, performs at Berg & Barrel from 6 to 9 every Thursday. Don't miss it. If you need some comedy, every Friday night at the library at Beck, High Humidity Humor brings traveling and local comics together for merriment and revelry. It's $10 for the show, and it starts at 8 p.m. Also on Friday, they are having another bourbon tasting at the House of Bourbon. This is from 6 to 8. It is $30, and this is located at 1201 Beck Avenue. After the bourbon tasting, stick around for the Salt Rock Duo starting at 8 p.m. Okay, Saturday. This is New Year's Eve. I just wanted to remind everyone to be safe out there. Please don't drink and drive or use drugs and drive or operate any vehicle under the influence of any substances. We have local taxi services as well as Uber and Lyft in St. Andrews to help get you home safely. And if for some reason you do end up in a situation where you have your car but you're unable to drive, you can call 855-2TOW-TO-GO or 855-286-9246 for a courtesy ride from AAA. Just remember, this service is meant to keep impaired drivers off the roads and should not be used as your main plan to get home from your New Year's festivities. So if you're going to be in St. Andrews this Saturday night, New Year's Eve, and you don't want to go out for the whole evening, but you want to celebrate a little bit, well, this is for you, because I'm one of those people. I call New Year's Eve amateur night. I am long past the point to where I no longer work on New Year's Eve, and I also no longer go out on New Year's Eve. But if I wanted to go out early, this is what I would do. So to get your evening started, I suggest you go to Little Village where they've got all the great vibes. Nothing Short of Pure will be debuting at the Village from 6 to 9, and there is no better way to start your night out. They are so looking forward to seeing y'all for New Year's Eve and the best end to 2022. Now, if you are dead set on going out on New Year's Eve, then this should be your second stop or your main stop. The House of Bourbon is starting its New Year's Eve celebration at 8 p.m. Food is available till 10 p.m. and True Soul will be playing from 9 till about 1 in the morning. There will be a free glass of champagne at midnight for the toast, and there's a $15 entrance fee, and tickets are available through Eventbrite, and there will be no reserved tables. That sounds like a great time. If I had a sober driver and I were the kind of person who'd like to go out on New Year's, that's probably what I would do. Let's move on to what I look forward to the most, and that is New Year's Day. It's a new start, all kinds of fun things to do in St. Andrews, so why not kick off your year with Kelsey and Tyler at the Little Village from 1 p.m. They play wonderful original music, and they've also got a great eclectic mix of Americana music. You will love them. So gather up your friends and go have a nice chill day at the Little Village on New Year's Day at 1 p.m. with Kelsey and Tyler. Rolling around to Monday, the first Monday of the year. What are you going to do? I hope you're going to go to Monday Night Little Fest at the Tap Room at 6 to 9. Go say hey to Kirk if he's there. Go see whatever music they have this week. You won't be disappointed. They start at 6 and they usually wrap up around 9. They've got delicious beers and they've got other things to drink. And there's all kinds of wonderful food options like Thai basil right across the street. And there's also a captain's table right across, and sometimes they even have a food truck. All right, for your Tuesday, where is the first place you would go have lunch on a Tuesday starting out the year in St. Andrews? I suggest Hunt's Oyster Bar. I will say you do need to arrive early because there is almost always a wait at Hunt's, but it's worth it. On Wednesday, join the Tapped Out Comedy Open Mic at the Tap Room. I believe the sign up is at 7:30. This is hosted by Janet Fortune of Panama City Comedy, and all levels are welcome. That's all the community events I've got for this week. Tune in next week for more. Thank y'all so much for tuning into the last episode of the year for the St. Andrews Jezebel podcast. I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Kirk, the founder of Monday Night Little Fest. And as we come to the end of the year, it's time to start thinking about New Year's celebrations and tying up 2022. Again, this is the last episode for 2022, so I want to thank all of our listeners for tuning in throughout the year. If you like what you heard today, be sure to share this episode with all your salty friends. Don't forget to follow us on social media for updates on upcoming episodes and events in the community. I appreciate your support and can't wait to bring you more great content in the future. Wishing you all a happy and healthy new year. And until next time, keep St. Andrews salty.